Passengers on a bus swept downstream by floodwater in Kenya's east. The vehicle failed to make it across a river swollen by flash floods.
From Jakarta, Indonesia.
What's ahead on the war in Gaza? Passenger escape bus swept away by Kenya flood. Ukrainian civilian helped build up their country drowned fleet.
MLINE Totally Updates powered by VOA, Voice of America.
6 months into the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, Israel is at the crossroads. Israeli forces have not been able to eradicate Hamas or free the remaining hostages, and some analysts say that the war could escalate even more further.
Israeli media reports say Israel will buy 40,000 tents to evacuate Palestinians from Rafah ahead of a planned ground invasion. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this week said that Israel has a date for an invasion of Rafah in southern Gaza. Israeli analysts say that even without an invasion of Rafah, the 6-month-old war with Hamas is at a crossroads.
It can be escalation to a regional war because of Iran, because of Hezbollah, and it will move from Gaza to the north, from a limited war in Gaza to a regional war, and it can de-escalate towards a process that will de-escalate the war and will fix some of the problems. And we're really facing crucial days, maybe a week.
Both Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon are proxies of Iran, and Yadlin says tensions with Iran have recently skyrocketed since Israeli strikes killed a senior Iranian general in Damascus last month.
Israel was very careful not to target Iranians. Since the 7th and the 8th of October, when Iran launched its proxies against Israel from Lebanon, from Syria, from Yemen, from Iraq, Israel changed the policy, and in this case, it seems like a big hit to Iran.
Israel has also come under growing international criticism for the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The UN says more than a quarter of Gaza's population is on the verge of starvation. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights told the BBC that there is plausible evidence that Israel is using starvation as a weapon of war in Gaza.
The collective punishment that was declared with the siege is indeed amounts to a war crime, and it needs to be dealt as such.
Israel says the problem is distribution of aid and says it is not responsible.
So there's enough supplies going in. Where the problem lies is in the picking up the goods that are delivered and distributing them. So that is a very central bottleneck that we're seeing. And I think that here we need to ask where the UN organizations are, where the civil society organizations are, where are the people that need to distribute these goods?
Egypt has been hosting indirect talks between Israel and Hamas for a ceasefire and hostage release amid conflicting views on their chances for success. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, Jerusalem.
Passenger on a bus that was swept away downstream by floodwater in Kenya is clung to ropes as they cross rapids to get to the safety.
Passengers on a bus swept downstream by floodwater were trapped on Tuesday in Kenya's east. The vehicle failed to make it across a river swollen by flash floods. They clung onto ropes as they crossed rapids to get to safety. John Mburu was one of the stranded passengers.
The problem we have encountered is because of this road. We have complained for a long time and nothing has been done. Right now there are people stranded in the water and we do not know how they will be saved. And you can see it's about to rain. If it rains, I don't know what will happen, whether they will die or what will happen. They've been in the water since 2 a.m. and that's when we arrived here. We tried getting them out with no success.
All 51 people aboard the Nairobi-bound bus escaped. Video showed many of them stranded on top of the semi-submerged vehicle for hours, as they waited for assistance. Record floods have killed dozens of people across East Africa in the last 6 months. Scientists say climate change is causing more intense and frequent extreme weather events.
Inexpensive first-person view or radio-controlled drones have become a powerful weapon in Ukraine war against Russian invaders. As the country pressed the West for more military aid, many Ukrainian civilians are stepping in to help by making homemade attack drones.
This small and neat table by the window is Yulia Zakharova's workplace. For half a year, she has been doing her part, assembling drones in her home.
I didn't hesitate on whether I would succeed or not. I had the goal of making drones.
Yulia, a professional product designer, assembles the drone using detailed instructions sent to her by Social Drone UA, an online project that provides do-it-yourself instructions and technical support for volunteers who want to help the Ukrainian army.
I ordered the spare parts from the links available in the community chat. There, everyone is looking for where and what can be found cheaper. All these are ordered from China, and it takes about a month for delivery. Donations cover most expenses.
The idea of creating a civilian community of drone makers came from IT specialist Oleksiy Asanov, a volunteer. He found a way to avoid import costs and provide less expensive FPV drones that can be equipped to seek out and destroy targets.
There is a limit on the import of spare parts, after which you have to pay customs duty. But if you involve many people so that they separately order small batches of spare parts, there will be no customs duty.
They also save on rent because the drones are stored at home, and on salaries because they are all volunteers.
Another big advantage is that we do not need security at one large production site, where one rocket could hit and there'll be no more plant. But now, more than 5,000 Ukrainians across the country are involved in the project. I couldn't imagine what might destroy it.
Asanov says both civilian and military experts test the drones for quality and performance. Max, who gave only his first name for security reasons, makes sure the drones are ready to fly.
I
check the frame, the direction of the motors, and whether the drone can take off. Next, I check if there is a video. In this drone, I see that the video needs to be converted to another format. It can be solved in 3 minutes.
Yulia herself has made 39 drones in 6 months.
It helps a lot with mental health. Assembling drones is like playing with a construction toy, but with a purpose. When I send drones, I constantly think, please serve well.
Social Drone UA says it tests and sends about 400 drones to the front line every week and expects to provide 20,000 drones to the war effort this year. Lesia Bakalets, VOA News, Kyiv.
The Voice of America, VOA.
My name is mirzawardana and my Instagram account is mirza_wardana that you can go and visit and get the link for the best online shopping recommendation. Just click and shop on the profile or on the story. Until next time on MLINE Top 3 Updates powered by VOA, Voice of America.
Give it you all, I give it you all. Yes, I will give it you all. 'Cause I need your sway, 'cause you always pay for it, and I need your soul, 'cause you're all